Hey guys, this is John with the Alpha Channel update for Monday, May 13th, 2024 here in Los Angeles. I've got some awesome stuff to show you today. First off is this McFarlane Conan cover. This is one of the best covers I think he ever did. This is just amazing. Look at this. So yeah, I asked him to sign this for me. It's not a great copy. It's got what they call spine ticks. But this is awesome. This is awesome. So, Conan the Barbarian, from way back when Marvel was cool, back when Marvel knew what it was doing and did it right. And I kind of want to talk about some of these characters. You know, I'm just flipping through this. I haven't looked at it in forever. That's Silver Surfer right there. You've got Conan the Punisher. These are all kind of parallels for Batman. They really are. They're the equivalent of virtuous characters who say what they mean and do what they say. You know, they're sincere, they know what they want, and they know how to get it. So that's one of the ones I wanted to show you. Here's another one. This is a Jim Lee cover. I did not get this autographed. Maybe someday. Jim Lee is a man. Oh no, this is Jim Lee. This is Jim Lee. Right? I believe this is a Bart Sears drawing. This is an older. Barry Smith on the pencils. He did the first Conans, the very first. 13 issues in color. I love Barry Smith's pencils so much. And you know what? For a long time, I was really angry that I worked out and never got to be this kind of Conan. But I look exactly like Barry Smith's Conan. Are you seeing this? Alright. I don't know when I opened this last. I don't know if I opened this when I bought it. Look at how big that is. And the color. Look at all the... Man, this is Barry Smith again. On Conan. Look at how big these pages are. They're just huge. Necklace. Bad guys. Everything about this is just... This is amazing comic book. This is just amazing comic books. Oh my God. Okay, so I could do this all day. This is just incredible. And this, at one point in time, this sold for $1.50. At one point in time, this was $1.50. I have a stack over there this high of stuff that I want to show off to you guys. I only have 2 long boxes right now. At one point, I think I had... It was literally like a small car's worth of comics. Couldn't have been 46, 27? I don't know. There was a lot. So, and we're going to talk about Hattori Hanzo today too, and how he relates to comic books. Hattori Hanzo, this TV show, where he's a ninja, he was a ninja in disguise. No one knew who he was. It was exactly Batman. This is 1980s Japanese Batman, and he worked for the magistrate, who's just like Commissioner Gordon. And then there would be corrupt barons and criminals and whatever in the Japanese society, and it would be the Shadow Warrior Ninja clan's job to go find them and get rid of them, neutralize them, and make it look like an accident. Don't, be too obvious about it. Don't be all Batman about it. That's what the ninjas, I have a book out here somewhere called the Ninja Bible. There's this guy from Australia who had it translated into English. And they have a line in there. And this is a great thing about these heroes, about Conan, about Batman, about Silver Surfer, the Punisher. Will the gods come to the aid of a corrupt and evil man who prays unceasingly? Will the gods neglect the righteous man, though he neglect prayer? I would have to say it's half empty, half full. The rain falls on the evil and the just alike. Here's the thing. The corrupt have to walk around looking over their shoulder and feeling like they could get arrested at any moment, where the innocent man, his conscience is clear and he moves through the world unafraid. This is what they mean about the coward dies 1,000 deaths, the hero dies but one. Now that's not quite accurate either, because when you're young, it's easy to be scared. When you haven't acquired the skills necessary to be certain of your own defense. I heard someone say, Alex Hormozy said, boys are confident, but men are certain. And some of the artwork I'm going to show you today, some of my artwork, is part of why I'm so certain I can do these comics. This is a good Ashley I did a while back. This is a different one. This is Ashley in her princess Valkyrie outfit. Of course, these will all be toys, right? The eyes are bad on this one, but the rendering's not so awful, and the feet are a little big. It's more rough rendering, but better facial features on this one. So these are so old. I don't remember when I did this. I have no memory of doing any of these. I have so many baskets of artwork that's just like 20 years old that I don't remember doing, or 10 years old, or 5 years old. I mean, I know the time period when I did these, because I know when I came up with the story. Then I got sidetracked into doing games, and so it's hard to say. It was between such and such video game that I was developing and between such and such short story that I was writing. These are some pencils for the Ashley Fox Ninja Babysitter comic. You know what, I should hold off showing you guys some of this because I'm going to run out. But yeah, this is worth going back to and getting into again. Just one more time, the Punisher, and Batman, and Conan. These are important characters. These intellectual properties can support an entire studio. So this Ninja Babysitter comic that I'm working on here, where she's literally a ninja babysitter, and there's a monster that comes out of the closet in the middle of the night to kidnap the kids and make them do slave labor in their dreams. And she has to go through and stop the bad guys, the monsters. That's one issue, maybe 3 issues. That's not 300 issues. But Modern Savages, my skateboarders, that's easy 300 issues. That I can do for a long time. With no problem. So that's what leads me into these things that I want to talk about in my little daily homilies, my Alpha Channel lectures. This is really to sell my novels. I'm looking for an audience, like I said in yesterday's thing. I understand that my fiction is not right for everyone. Conan is not right for everybody. That's for sure. I mean, that's definitely true. But the people who it is right for, I've got some good stuff. Ashley Fox is, if Conan had a daughter, like if Aeon Flux was a teenager. So that's not right for everybody. But if that's something you're interested in, I put some very serious effort into it, and the execution is good. So trust and idea farming. This is some of the stuff I talked about yesterday. Idea farming in the studios. I'm glad that the work that I did was not selling my ideas. I got into post-production and got paid to learn pacing and flow and what entertainment needs to be, and thematically what you should aim for. Like if you're doing an action movie, don't write in a bunch of romance. You know what I'm saying? Like if you're doing Home and Garden, be informative. This isn't necessarily informative. This is just my 2 cents. This is just me literally hoping to connect with people and build an audience for the 26 hours of science fiction I have on this channel. Very violent science fiction, I might add. So trust. Our society right now is trying to destroy trust in everything. There's no legitimate authority today. The entire medical industry is illegitimate and has no authority. They've shown us their true colors. They'll do anything for money. The police officers who let the entire country burn over the summer of Black Lives Matter, yet will arrest college students for sitting on lawns while a genocide's going on across the world. So that's, you see who gets what they want in society. There's no trust to be had. People don't trust each other, and that's terrible because we should. One of the things I'm working on with one of my friends, with Jay, he's got a great comic book. It needs a little something, and working together, idea farming, we can come up with twice as many ideas as we can alone. So I had a story, one of my characters, Ashley, was stuck on a mountaintop between 2 armies, And if I had been in a writer's room with 6 other writers, I'm sure we would have come up with a solution much faster than me doing it on my own. That's what idea farming is, but that's really expensive. People's time, there's nothing more expensive than people's time. So the studio would then own all the ideas generated in that writer's room. And because I didn't sell out my characters, I own the solution that I had to wait and nurture and fertilize for 12 years until I solved that story problem. I think it was about that long. The point is, you can either wait and do it yourself, or you can hire people and they can do it for you. And the studios hire people and then do it for them, and then pick what they consider to be the best. Lately, they've been preparing bad recipes that no one finds appealing. So there's not a lot of trust. They've been selling these recipes, these entertainment recipes, these entertainment products, which are really kind of meals. They're consumed over a period of time, and then how you feel afterwards is whether or not it was good. So, some of those Avengers movies were really well prepared. Some of the later fare by the studios has not been great, and people are complaining about it, all the studios included. And I think that's a breach of trust. There's not a lot of trust. They don't want to deliver what people want to buy, and people don't want to buy what they want to deliver. So my goal is to find people who want to read what I want to deliver. I don't want to sell people on a cutesy kid story. This is a cutesy kid story, but it's ruthlessly violent. If I produced this as a comic, it would have to have a really bloody cover, but it would also have to look ethereal because most of the action takes place in the dream world, in the Twilight Land. So there's not, people would have to have like neon blood and be reattaching their arms. Like that's the story. That's what this story is. It's a very cartoony sort of thing. So that's, trust. How do you generate that between yourself and the audience, and how do you maintain it? And one of the things they were talking about in Comicsgate Kings just right now tonight, Shane Davis and Mike Barron and Graham Nolan and Billy Tucci, Aaron Lepresti, a whole bunch of guys. Jimmy Reyes, check out Dragon Rage. It looks amazing, Jimmy. It looks awesome. So they were just talking about how one of the things that happens is you put a new writer on a floundering book. The writer makes it sing. But as soon as it takes off, the company wants to move in and take control again. And this happens over and over and over again in these big companies. So my goal is to do that for a character, lift a character up, make that one the flagship or a tent pole of a studio where you can have lots of other stories that might not have that sort of potential. This Ninja Babysitter story doesn't have 300 issue potential. It has a 3-issue potential, and the character has 300 issue potential, but those two, they're not the same thing. This is like a Batman side story. So Modern Savages, the skaters, by themselves, 300 issue potential, easy. That's a story that could be handed off to different writers and different artists. Everyone could have fun with it, never tell the same story twice. It's got a rich character, rich field of characters who are just dying to be on the page or on the screen. So that's an easy thing for it to execute. But it's taken, for me, that idea farming has taken a long time. And if I were at a senior position in any studio, this would have to immediately go to them, just for all the years of support and life and salary they would have provided me. Modern Savages is that rich of an idea. And what's great about it is that anyone can do it. Like Marvel could steal it and go do it, and they would do it awful. And it would be nowhere near as good as what I'm going to do, and it wouldn't threaten what I'm going to do. Execution is everything. You can't copyright the idea. You can only copyright the execution, and they can't execute like I do. They can't draw like I do. They can't hire an AI to draw like I do because my art is not that pervasive throughout the system. It's not like Matt Groening in The Simpsons. Whereas you can easily have an AI produce Simpsons artwork. You can't have them produce my hand because they don't know it yet. It hasn't been photographed and copied enough yet. So I've waited and I've walked down and I have stacks of drawings this high that I can finish and render in light and stories that I can tell. And every day is the best day. My life hasn't always been this way. There was some times where I worked for studios where I thought I was going to get to do this for them, and I'd have been super happy to. It's like Todd said in the Image Revolution movie, it would have been easy for Marvel to keep us. All they would have had to do is, treat us with a little respect. They wanted to stay. Jim Lee and Todd McFarlane and all the guys who left, they wanted, but the management couldn't treat them with any respect because the management weren't artists; they were business people. So there's no trust there. Honesty versus gaslighting. The management was gaslighting them, telling them what they wanted to hear, and just exploiting them for their own goals, for their own families, for their own bottom line. Just like I did to Rocky, just Stallone. So say what you mean what you say, be sincere. I wanted to talk about this too. Here's a big problem of trust in our society. No one's word is their bond anymore. And the thing that's happening is you can't say the N-word, right? Like, I don't need to say it, and I certainly don't need to insult people with it. But what you won't say, you, my enemies in the Matrix, you woke people, you won't say don't insult people. You'll say don't use the N-word. And the reason is you love insulting people. You live to insult people like me. People like me who, if I insult you back, that's considered a hate crime because I'm punching down, because I'm so much more competent than you are. Because I'm so much more, and I'm the worst of my kind. I'm the worst of my, what would you call, group or cohort, like Gen X. All the white males of my age are better than me. I'm the worst of us, and I'm better than any of you. Just by not even trying, just working hard. It's not hard work. You have to make hard work not hard work. And if you do that, you don't have to compete with anyone. And that's why you're all speaking English. So, honesty versus gaslighting. You're not going to run me out of my own society. I would never use the N-word to insult people, but you insult people regularly. I don't insult people. I don't treat people with disrespect. You love disrespecting people. Trolling. So that's not always true. I have been guilty of mad trolling online, but I do it in a way that's only an insult if you are already full of hate. There's a way to trigger people who are full of hate that you can say really simple things. I don't want to do that here. That's not what this is about. But I have been guilty about it. I have been guilty of that. I'm trying to get past that. I'm doing this so I don't have to do that. This is me moving beyond that, hopefully. I'll still remind you that you're speaking English occasionally. So, yeah, don't insult people, but if you insult them and expect to get insulted back, it's essentially, self-defense insults. Self-defense insults are great. With trolling people, here's a great example of the trollings I do. You're speaking English. Remember, those are white man's words coming out of your mouth. So while you're talking about how bad white people are, just remember that those are my words in your head. And as an author of, as many stories as I've done, yeah, I claim the English language. Yeah. So, yeah, don't insult people, and they will insult you back. And we could all stop the nonsense. I'm doing comic books, so I don't have to do politics. Was it de Tocqueville who said, I must study politics and war so that my sons may study math and engineering, so their sons may study poetry and literature? I think it was him who said that. I'm skipping right to the end. You guys want to have a war. You're trying to incite a war with people who want to do poetry and literature. And I'm not buying it. I'm not going for it. You can do whatever you want. I'm not participating. This is what you're getting right now is the most you're going to get from me. Even in real life. Even in real life, I will convince you that we share more common ground than enmity, and that we could be better friends than enemies, and that idea farming, working together, is better than being enemies. So stop calling people names and making enemies of them. Learn how to be friends. Yeah. To be at my age and have to make comic books for grown people to learn how to stop being children is sort of a weird thing, but it's a lot of fun. I really wouldn't. This is the only thing I'd ever want to do. So I don't know. I know I'm contradicting myself a lot in these. That's a weird situation. But yeah, trust, idea farming. People don't trust each other. The studios rape their artists for all their ideas. Life doesn't get better than good art, like Conan by McFarlane and Jim Lee. This is really, this is, look at that. Look at that. This is as good as it gets. And it's not likely to get this good again. So, yeah, we're gonna trust each other, find common ground. All right, see you guys.